Welcome back to the Solar Promoter YouTube channel, and welcome back to some more Squared Circle action. I finished up a couple of things I had to do today, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get over to the tabletop. What am I going to play? And Squared Circle was still out from where I've been playing, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to play some more Squared Circle. We're going to do a mix of quick play matches with full played out matches here. And I've just been having a lot of fun with this set. So our quick play matches are going to be the one-man gang versus Tiger Conway Jr., 10-minute time limit. Nikolai Volkov versus Ernie Ladd, 10-minute time limit. A rematch from last time. This went to a time limit draw. We're going to play this out quick play. And this is going to be Mike Sharp versus Bob Roop. We're going to have Carl Cox versus Crusher Khrushchev. And I'm actually going to move this to next time. The main event is going to be Mr. Wrestling 2 versus Jim Duggan, stemming out of that tag team match we had last time where Mr. Wrestling 2 just creamed Hacksaw Jim Duggan like in the opening minutes of the match. So there you go. All right, so our first match is going to be One Man Gang versus Tiger Conway Jr. We've got a face D versus a heel B. So I don't like the outlook for Tiger Conway Jr., but you never know what's going to happen. So this is going to be B versus D. So we got that right here on the quick play chart. And let's see, we've got a 55. That is going to be highest ranked win. So that is going to be the one-man gang. And now we will see how he won. He is a heel and he won the match. And that is a 43. So he wins with interference. I think that might be... Yeah, that's the second time One Man Gang has won with interference. So we will get him up. Skandar Akbar was in his corner. So we'll get One Man Gang into a proper match here very soon. And interference is how it ends. All right, our next match will also have a 10-minute time limit. And that is going to be Nikolai Volkov versus Ernie Ladd. So we've got B versus C here. Ernie Ladd is B, Nikolai Volkov is C. B versus C. We get a 79. I think that's going to be highest ranked wins. It is. That'll be Ernie Ladd. So Nikolai Volkov goes down in defeat by Ernie Ladd, and he wins, rolls an 87 with his finishing move. So a leg drop. Ernie Ladd defeats Nikolai Volkov with a leg drop. Now, what's been interesting about this is as I've been, this game comes with these PowerPoints. And depending on if a person wins or loses, the PowerPoints go up and down. And I've actually not been keeping track of wins and losses. I mean, I have my book where I write down all my results, so I do have that information. But I've just been tracking PowerPoints, and it's a real interesting way to kind of do rankings. All right, here's a match I was looking forward to. Iron Mike Sharp versus Bob Roop. Let's see, we've got a D and a C. So this is C and D over here. Let's see, we just roll a 5. So a C and a D is a 5. That is going to be a draw. And this is face versus heel. So we'll see what kind of draw it was. It was a 39. That's going to be a double count out. All right, so I think our next card, we're going to have a full match between Iron Mike Sharp and Bob Roop, because that is the second time that these two have gotten a draw. Sharp, double count out. All right. Our next match is a 10-minute time limit. But this one we are playing full out. And that is going to be Crusher Khrushchev taking on Killer Carl Cox. And I have their stuff loaded into my points tracker. You can get this points tracker at promotertoolbox.com. And let's go. Crusher Khrushchev will be red. Carl Cox will be blue. We will not be using the cheat chart for this. So Crusher Khrushchev wins the control there and rolls a 73. That's going to be a body slam. 15 plus 4 for 19 points. So big move right off the top there. Crusher Khrushchev loses control. Carl Cox gets it and rolls a 22. That is going to be an elbow. Oh, I got to remember to roll this. Elbow 6, so that's for 11 points. And again, this is a 10-minute time limit, so 50 moves. Rolling again, Carl Cox in control and rolls a 60. That is going to be a punch. 8 plus 2 is 10. The crowd going crazy because Carl Cox is in control over the Russian. I need to roll the correct dice here. We got a 1 and a 3. That's Carl Cox again. And that is a 58. That is going to be another punch. 8 plus 3. That is another 11 points. Carl Cox really has Crusher Khrushchev's number here. We got a 7 and a 7. That is a doubles, but we're not rolling on the cheat chart here. We are going to re-roll for controls. That's how we're playing it. 6 and 4. That's Crusher Khrushchev. And he rolls a 40. That is going to be a stomp. 9 plus 1 is 10 points. So Crusher Khrushchev getting back in here. 7 and a 5. That's Carl Cox. And 74. That is going to be a punch for 12 points. Those big meaty fists of Carl Cox. And Crusher Khrushchev taken back over. And he rolls a 14. That is going to be a knee lift for 7 points. So not as much damage as he would have hoped. But let's see here. We got a 1 and a 10. That's Carl Cox again. The dice are with Carl Cox here. And that's a 30. That is a kick. 8 plus 1 is 9. And nobody has dropped to level 1 yet. We got a 5 and a 4. That's Crusher Khrushchev. And that is a 50. And that is going to be a punch for 10 points. So Crusher Khrushchev making a little bit of a comeback here. 1 and an 8. That's Carl Cox. And that is a 48. That is going to be another punch for 11 points. I don't think Crusher Khrushchev thought he was going to have this much trouble. 80, an 8 and a 5, so that's Crusher Khrushchev. Oops, I'm going to re-roll that whole thing. We get a 79. 79 is going to be throw into turnbuckle. 8 plus 4 is going to be 12 points. And we get a 5 and a 7. That's Carl Cox. And that is a 17. That is an elbow for 9 points. So not a ton of damage, but solid. 6 and a 1. That's Carl Cox. And that is a 26. That is going to be an elbow for 12 points. So big move there. Crusher Khrushchev is down 85 points. Carl Cox down 58. Carl Cox gets control again and rolls a 53. And let's see, 53 is a punch. 8 plus 1 is 11. And there you go. Crusher Khrushchev fighting back. He gets control here. 46. 46 is a punch for 10 points. Still a lot more points lost for Crusher Khrushchev. And he is in control again. Can he do something big here? Let's see. 43, that's not going to be too big. That is a stomp for 13 points. But he's doing damage to Carl Cox if he can keep control here. He does keep control. And, ooh, that is only a 6. So that is going to be a takedown for 4 points. But still, any points he can take away is good. 5 and a 2. Crusher Khrushchev's on a streak here. And he rolls an 8. That is going to be a snapmare for 5 points. Not as much damage as he would like to do, but there you go. 5 and a 7. Carl Cox fighting back. And that is a 75. That will be throwing a turnbuckle for 9 points. We have 19 moves into the match. 8 and 5. That's Crusher Khrushchev. And he rolls a 70. That's going to be a backdrop for 12 points. As we hit 20 total moves. 8. That is... I almost dropped it here. Crusher Khrushchev wins control again. 93. 93 is choke with the ropes for 14 points. Some dastardly tactics there. And that moves Killer Carl Cox to level 1. And Crusher Khrushchev wins again. In control. And he rolls a 41. That is a stomp for 13 points. And Crusher Khrushchev wins again. And let's see, 37. That is going to be another stomp for 10 points. Crusher Khrushchev has made a big comeback here. Carl Cox on the low points ends of things. And Crusher Khrushchev gets it again. And that is going to be a 29. That is going to be a kick for 10 points. And Crusher Khrushchev wins it again. The Russian is fighting back. 79. We had that one before, right? Throw in a turnbuckle for 9 points. As we hit 25 moves, we've hit the 5-minute mark. And 9 and a 6, that's Crusher Khrushchev again. And he rolls a 9. That is going to be a snapmare for 7 points. And Carl Cox fighting back after a string of Crusher Khrushchev winning the things there. Rolls an 0-1. Sorry, that's a 10. Sorry, my fault. That is a snapmare for 7 points. And Carl Cox wins again. He's fighting back. 42 is a punch for 11 points. As we move on to move 29, 2 and a 7, that's Carl Cox again. And he rolls a 69. Nice. All right, that is going to be another punch. 8 plus 5, 13 points. And we are now at move 30. And that is going to be a 10 and 2. That's Crusher Khrushchev. And that is a 21. 21 is an elbow drop. Plus 9 is 15. So big move there. Let's see what happens here. Carl Cox in control. And that is a 57. That is going to be another punch. 8 plus 5 is 13. Move number 31. 10, that's Crusher Khrushchev, gets that. 62 is going to be a punch. 8 plus 4 is 12 points. And Carl Cox is on level 1. He's creeping closer to level 2. And Crusher Khrushchev is on level 1 now. 10 and a 1, that is Crusher Khrushchev. And we get a 49. Is another punch for 11 points. We got a 1 and a 7. That's Carl Cox. Carl Cox with a 59. That's going to be another punch, I assume. Yep. For 11 points. And that is a 47. A 4 and a 7. That's Carl Cox. And he rolls a 40. That's going to be another punch for 9 points. And we are at move 35. So 14 actually moves left in the game. We got a 2 and a 7. That's Carl Cox. We got a 79. 79 is going to be ram head in a turnbuckle for 13 points. And 8 and a 1, that's going to be Crusher Khrushchev. And we got a 41. That's going to be a stomp for 12 points. And that is Crusher Khrushchev winning again, 35. That is going to be a stomp for 15 points, so big stomp there. And we are at move number 39. 7 and a 9. That is going to be Carl Cox. Carl Cox with a 35. That's going to be a punch for 11 points. And 8 and a 4. That's Carl Cox. And we got a 26. 26 is an elbow plus for 12 points. So big move there. We now have 10 moves left in the game. That last move was move 40, so actually 9. A 9 and a 4, that's Crusher Khrushchev. And he rolls an 89. So that's going to be an eye rake for 3 points. And 8 and a 2, that's Crusher Khrushchev. Rolls a 30. That's going to be a stomp for 10 points. And Carl Cox wins this control and rolls a 54. That is going to be a punch for 14 points. We've got 7 moves left in the match until we hit the time limit. 8 and a 10, that's Carl Cox. Carl Cox with an 81. That's going to be throw out of ring plus 12. Now that's interesting because... So he throws him out of ring. I'm going to have to get out the ring chart here in a second. Okay, so I got the chart. I rolled for control. And Crusher Khrushchev won. And he is going to try and draw Carl Cox out of the ring. And we roll a 29. Both wrestlers exchange 4 punches each. Both return to the ring. So that is a plus 28. So that is going to be 28. So that's going to be 34 points for... so that's each... I might have to get out my other phone here to do calculations. So let's see. I guess we could roll each punch individually. Let's see here. All right. So we have. I'm just gonna roll once here. No, it says plus 28 each. So the first punch is 28 plus 6 is 34. So this will be damage that Crusher Khrushchev is doing to Carl Cox. 34 plus 32 plus 34 plus 33. So that's a total of 133 points. And then for Carl Cox, he is going to get 30 plus 30 plus 31 plus 34. So that's 125 points. And let's see, that drops Killer Carl Cox down to level 3. Crusher Khrushchev is dropped to level 2. And we're going to say that Each action has the time equivalent counting as 4 moves. So they're back into the ring. There has been 48 moves here. So damage has been done. But let's see. We're going to roll for control. They're back into the ring. But they have 2 moves left. So before the time limit expires. And Crusher Khrushchev wins that. Man, if he can roll high here, he will be doing good. He rolls a 5, so he rolls low. Grapple counts as 2 moves, but 0 points, and that is going to end it. It will be a time limit draw between Crusher Khrushchev and Killer Carl Cox, but I think you are going to see these two fight again, and maybe we'll do some sort of special match. Time limit draw. What a match there at the end. All right, so this is going to be our main event. We'll be right back with our main event. All right, we're back for the main event. This is going to be a 20-minute time limit match. Jim Duggan fired up after losing so quickly to Mr. Wrestling 2 in that tag match last week. So the fans are all going, two. Let's see, red, blue. That is going to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He is fired up. This is going to be a 20-minute time limit match. 81, so big roll off the top. That is a body slam for 20 points. Duggan really furious here. Can he keep the momentum? He does keep the momentum. And that is going to be 54. So that'll be a punch for 15 points. And he's really laying in the damage here. That's going to be Duggan again. And Duggan with a 4. That's going to be a grapple. Counts as 2 moves, but no points. And you know what? Hold on a second. We're going to retcon this really quick. We're going to retcon that. That is going to be to roll on the cheat chart. Because he is wrestling as a heel, not a face. So we're going to move that to cheat. And I have to get, where's my 8-sided die? Let's roll and see what happens on the cheat chart. 2, your manager gives you a foreign object. So we're going to say that is Ted DiBiase gives him a foreign object. And you use it at plus 25 damage. So that is going to be 30. Let me get rid of this. 30 points. And you have a 20% chance of being disqualified. So we're going to roll the dice. If it is 1 through 20, Duggan will be disqualified. It is not. It's a 95. If you are not DQ'd, then your cheating is successful. So there you go. The cheating is successful, but there's no pin there. But here we go. 9 and a 5. That's Mr. Wrestling 2. He is back. 63. That is going to be a punch for 10 points. The fans cheering. The cheating fired up Mr. Wrestling 2. And he gets control again. And that's going to be an 88. Body slam for 18 points. And Mr. Wrestling 2 got control again. We are going to use the raffle chart as well. 85 this time. That is a backdrop for 10 points. Ever since DiBiase interfered, Mr. Wrestling 2 is in control here. A 9 and a 1, Mr. Wrestling 2. 73. That is going to be a punch for 11 points. And a 7-3. Mr. Wrestling 2 again. The fans are loving this. 92. 92 is going to be throw into turnbuckle for 13 points of damage. And Mr. Wrestling 2 gets it again. And it gets a 42. That is going to be a stomp for 15 points. So big stomp there. And Mr. Wrestling 2 in control again. 54. That is going to be a punch for 14 points. He's really laying it in. Duggan is now down. For the person who used the illegal weapon, Duggan is down 91 points. And Mr. Wrestling 2 only 65. And Mr. Wrestling 2 in control again. And that is a 30. That is going to be the knee lift, not the finisher knee lift, but the knee lift for a big 22 points. Hokey smokes. 9 and 10, Duggan finally wins. And he rolls a 47. That is going to be a punch for 9. Is that 9 or... Punch. No, his punches are 10 points. His big, meaty punches. 10 plus 5 is 15. So Duggan coming back here. And he needs to. And he gets control again. 97. 97 is a spear. See the note below. On a spear, roll 2d10 after assessing damage. Okay, so let's do damage first. This is a spear. It is a finisher. And this is 50 points plus 3. So this is 53 points for Duggan. And now, after assessing damage, roll 2d10. If you roll 00, the opponent is speared out of the ring. Well, that's close, but not 00. So it is time to roll the pin. And my papers all fell here, so give me a second to find the pinfall submission chart. Here it is. And let's see, Mr. Wrestling 2 is at level 0. He hasn't, he's still at level 0, but this is an A finisher. So it's 1-7-75. So there is a 1 count. Has to beat a 7. 82, that's a 2 count. Has to beat a 75. No, 68, just barely. So Mr. Wrestling 2 able to kick out, and the match will continue. And Jim Duggan still in control, and he rolls a 35. That will be a punch for 12 points. As he continues to wear down Mr. Wrestling 2. And that is an 8 and a 3. That's Mr. Wrestling 2 in control here. 83. That will be a shoulder block for 7 points. And a 4 and 4. So wrestling raffle chart. Let me get that out. Again, my papers all fell, so I have to find the wrestling raffle chart and where it is. That's the thing about putting these pages in sheet protectors. It makes them all slippery. Wrestling raffle chart. Okay, these are not in order, but let's roll and see what we got, and I will find out. Then we got a 15. That's not on that page. 15. Where the heck? There's one more page I'm missing somewhere. Here we go. 15. No, wait. This is... Sorry. Oh, as the matches begin... Okay, so this is... This is the right page. As the matches begin, the ringside announcer keeps referencing a man in a gorilla suit sitting at ringside, goofing it up with local kids. Apparently, All right, so we will say that there's just somebody, they just notice the man in the gorilla suit. So that will have no effect here on the match. Duggan in control. And Duggan with an 8. That is a hip toss plus 2 is 8 points. As the match continues, we are 16 moves into the match. It feels like longer, but that's what it is. Jim Duggan in control and gets a 14. That is an elbow for 9 points. And that knocks Mr. Wrestling 2 down to level 1. A 1 and a 2, that's Duggan. And we get a 46. 46 is a punch for 11 points. And a 7 and an 8, that's Mr. Wrestling 2 in control and rolls a 10. That is going to be a takedown for 6 points. The technical stylings of Mr. Wrestling 2. Mr. Wrestling 2 still in control. 93. Ram head in a turnbuckle for 16 points. Duggan still at level 0, surprisingly. We have 20 moves into the match. Duggan in control now. And Duggan rolls a 73 shoulder to stomach for 8 points. And there is Jim Duggan again. And that is an 48. That is going to be another punch for 11 points. And that is going to be a 10 and a 7. So that is Mr. Wrestling 2. And he rolls a 52. That is a punch for 14 points. And we got a 7 and a 1. That's Jim Duggan. And that is a 52. So that is going to be another punch for 16 points. So Mr. Wrestling 2 hits him for 14. Duggan returns the favor with 16. 10 and an 8. That's Mr. Wrestling 2. We got a 1 and a 1. Oh, no. Sorry. 11. That is a takedown for 6 points. I saw the tie. I thought for a second we were going back to the wrestling raffle chart. We got a 5 and an 8. That is Duggan. And Duggan rolls an 8. That is a hip toss plus 2 for 8 points. And we got a 9 and an 8. That is Mr. Wrestling 2. And that is a 13. That is going to be an armbar. Counts as 2 moves for 6 points. And we are at move number 28. So 70 moves is the 20-minute time limit. Duggan in control. And Duggan rolls a 35. That is a punch for 16 points. And that is a 5 and a 2. That's Mr. Wrestling 2. Rolls a 20. That is an arm drag for 6 points. They're going back to their basic moves here. And a 3 and a 3. There you go. Wrestling raffle chart once again. And we get a 67. So 57. Where's 67? 67. The ref is down. The manager or ally of the heel comes to ringside and into the ring to commence a beatdown on the face. So this is DiBiase in the gorilla suit. Comes in. The ref awakens and calls for disqualification, but too little too late. The face is down and close to out. The heels lose the match, but walk away with some confidence that the face is lying helpless in the ring. So, Mr. Wrestling 2, oops, as I smack the camera, Mr. Wrestling 2 defeats Duggan DQ after DiBiase interferes. So our final 3 matches, no decisive winners, but that's what happens in Mid-South. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Big shout out to all the Golden Circle channel members who help make the videos on this channel possible. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.